Hey guys, I'm here today with this Sonicware Liven LoFi 12, and if you see the color scheme here, it reminds me of an Akai sampler, the old S series. I had an S950 many years ago. I got from an electronic recycler, and this thing definitely kind of has that sound and just the overall charm of an old Akai sampler. Maybe it's trying to mimic an old MPC because it kind of had the same color scheme going, but I believe it's more of a sampler thing. You can sample into it and you play it chromatically. I'll have a demo really quick. This is not really a review. It's just a kind of an overview of what I like about it. It's not going to even be that long of a video for once. So I bought this with my own money. They had it on Amazon for a very brief period of time from the official Sonicware store, and I happened to nab one when they were still available. Just keep a lookout. They're $239, so that makes this the cheapest sampler I believe you can buy new on the market. Yeah, you can get one of the Volca samples, but those don't let you sample into the device. You have to use an external, like a computer or something, to load samples. This does sampling. You can do sample-like manipulation and everything directly on the device. That does come with the caveat that you can't load samples via USB. There's no USB input on here, and you can't sysx samples into it, at least as far as I know. But it sounds fantastic. The 12 comes with a designation that it's 12-bit, or that's what it's trying to aim for, and it does 24 kilohertz as its maximum. Its minimum, I believe it's like 11 or 12 kilohertz sampling frequency. But it sounds great. I used my iPad yesterday with the headphone adapter, since Apple doesn't put headphone adapters on any of their new products, obviously. But I used the soundtrack to Chrono Trigger, and I got this. And that's with the 12-bit mode on. That's with it off. Let's switch it back on. And it sounds really cool and crunchy. That's exactly what I wanted. I have a dig here and a golden here. These are both in 12-bit style modes. This is in the Lexicon 224 mode, which is a 12-bit reverb from back in the late 70s. And this is in the 12-bit delay mode, and we'll use that later. But sounds so cool. I also have some Kagamine Lin samples in here just to see what it would do like with voicing. So that's a Vocaloid if you don't know, but let me go in. I pitched them to be the same across the board so that the samples play nice with each other. So we'll use that in a bit. So yeah, I'll go back to... And on track 2, this has multiple tracks, and you can sequence each of the tracks and do parameter locks, and you can automate parameters and everything. This is going to be a very short video where I just go over what I really like. So that's a string sample that's built into the unit. And of course it has a filter. Let's turn on the filter really quick. I like the second low pass filter. And of course you have a filter envelope and everything, and you can assign LFO to the filter or pitch. I'm going to turn off the filter again because I just want it completely open. I'm getting in with the filter because you can make this even more lo-fi sounding if you really wanted to. So yeah, you can pitch. The pitch LFO is really nice. It's a little too fast for something. Or too much depth sometimes, but... And as you hear there, I actually have the shape set to random, so you can have different shapes. It's pretty awesome on how many shapes it has for the LFO, but let's turn that off for now. It has some built-in effects. I don't much care for them. There's a delay that's okay. There's a cassette tape emulator that's kind of terrible, but also charming at the same time, if that makes any sense. I don't remember how to set that. Oh, right here. So you set it to here. There it is. You can hear the hiss. Yeah, I wish there was more parameters you could set with that, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's a pretty great little sampler. I wish there was some kind of way to sysx samples into it, like if they had an official librarian where you could transfer samples. Maybe I just didn't read the manual right. Maybe you can. I didn't see any software though, so I don't know. So yeah, and it does have 12 voice polyphony, and that's across all the tracks. So it's from a pool of 10 voices. So I can put in a little quick. I already have something in there, so I can like play another track now. So yeah, you can have multiple tracks. You can kind of do multi-timbrality that way. So that's pretty neat. Let's hear it with the 12-bit delay and reverb on the end of it. So. And I think that's where the unit really shines, is when you put some external effects onto it. It sounds unbelievably just lovely. These pads aren't too bad. They're not great. I have the XFM and the 8-bit warps from them as well. That's the same hardware, just running different software, I believe. And yeah, none of them have really had super bad build quality issues. Again, for $239, these are well built. These are built a lot better than the Volca series, but they're also about double the price, though I guess some of the Volcas get to about the $200 price range, like the new bass or whatever. And that just sounds lovely with the golden and the dig going. Especially with all that aliasing coming from the samples in this thing. It's exactly what I wanted. I kind of wanted just an old school style sampler that could do the old JRPG style, like terrible sample quality songs, and it does it. It has so much charm to it. Again, this string sample is one that you get with it. It's got a few really good samples in it that I really like. I like the violin as well. I guess that was the violin. Okay, let's go to the strings. Yeah, here's the strings. It has a really cool choir too. It's right around here. The flute's nice too. Let's listen to the choir though. These again built in. All right, what we're gonna do is I'll have my sequence going there. Yeah, so it really has that style of an SNES era JRPG soundtrack, which is fantastic because the SNES is the SPC 900, or sorry, it's the 700 in that. Audio processor does samples too, so it's kind of like a like-for-like thing. I mean, this does higher fidelity for sure, because I believe the SNES was only capable of doing 4-bit adaptive PCM sampling. Even though it was a 16-bit DSP, but... So yeah, I just like some of the built-in samples. They're really decent. Here's the flute. So much aliasing. Let's turn off the 12-bit mode. Well, the 12-bit mode won't really cause that much aliasing. It'll just really squash the dynamics. Maybe we want that back on. Can add the filter though. Let's add the filter. to that and make it a little... Let's turn down the resonance. Anyway, I was going to say more about the key bed. It doesn't feel that bad for the price point. It's definitely more useful than the Volca. But as you see here, you have full MIDI in and out. The nice DIN sockets that everybody should be using. Since there's room for it, I'm glad that Sonicware put the full-sized ones on there. So yeah, that's kind of just what I wanted to go over it, with this thing. I absolutely adore it. It does, like I said, it has a full track sequencer. So you can even put like drum samples on different tracks. And yeah, it's a great little device. Anyway, thanks for watching. Maybe if you want to see more about this in future videos, I can do that. Leave it in the comments if you really do. I will be making a video on the 8-bit warps as well and the XFM, which are two different synths based in the same form factor. This one's the sampler, the XFM is obviously FM, and the 8-bit warps is an 8-bit one. I've done a video with the 8-bit warps, I just didn't talk too much about it. Again, thanks for watching.